What's going on? It is the second time in less than a week that I'm in the Catskills. This time, here at Dragon, and we are gonna attempt to do 3 peaks today and come back. We're gonna do Slide, which is the high peak of the Catskills, over to Cornell, which is like number 9, and then Wittenberg, which is number 14 on the list of height in the Catskills. It's about 7 miles out to Wittenberg, and I've done Slide out to the base of Cornell a couple years ago on a backpacking trip with my nephew Brian. So it's been a while since I've been out here, so I know what to expect up to that point. After that, the only thing I know about is what I've read about, and it should be a really fun trip. But we've got all day. It's just like 8:30 right now, something like that, and we got 12 hours, so I got a headlamp just in case, but I think we'll be all right. But I've already registered, and we're about to start some more Catskill hiking. So right out of the parking lot, you get a little bit of a climb, and it's a little bit deceiving because Slide is the highest peak in the Catskills, but it's actually one of the easier hikes to get up to the summit as far as Catskills go. Now on that sign I showed, you notice it said only 5.9 to Wittenberg, but that's if you go straight up to the summit of Slide. But what we're gonna do is well, I'm already tired. You go straight. There's like an old service road that takes you up. We're gonna get to the junction pretty soon, and then there's the Curtis Ormsby Trail, which will kind of take us out this way a little bit, and then up more of a hike than a service road hike. So we're gonna do that, which adds a little distance. We'll probably come back down that straight Slide mountain trail. So that'll cut us down a little bit on the way back. Whew. It's just Catskills. And be sitting in the car for 2 hours. Yeah. Oh, my legs under me yet. All right, we've made it up to our junction, 7/10. So that is like the old Jeep road straight up to the summit. We're gonna bypass that for now. That's where we're gonna come down. We're gonna take the Curtis Ormsby Trail, another 8/10 up to that. And that's a little bit more of a hike. Less of that and more kind of single track actual trail. A couple nice overlooks, decent overlooks. I don't know what it'll be like with leaves, with foliage, because last time I was up there it was April, not this year, but it was that time of year, and you get pretty good looks out over the valley. But either way, I think it's a nicer hike up than just walking up loose rocks for like a mile. Gotta turn that off. We've made it our 8/10 of a mile down to the Curtis Ormsby. So we're a mile and a half in. We got 2.3 to Slide. And from here, Cornell's 4.7. Odd, they don't have Wittenberg. That's weird. So Wittenberg is, I think, a mile past. Wittenberg, I think, is like a mile or so past Cornell. So here's the old marker. Check this thing out. All right, we're gonna start that way and start our climb. I remember this spot when I was out here with Brian. We're climbing all around these rocks. Let's give you an idea of the scale of these things. They're big rocks. We are at our first little mini view. A little more obstructed with leaves on the trees, but not too bad. You can kind of see. But what we just came up, I'll show you. I'll get at Dragon's Way. Switch spots. So we just came up that little scramble. Not too bad. Not bad at all. So you may notice I got trekking poles in my hand. So something I didn't take into account since I've gotten back on the road with my vehicle. I've been kind of eager to get out and do stuff a lot more. So since Oil Creek, maybe to 36 miles there, I walked over to Adam's house for his cookout he had. That was 10 miles. I did another 4 that day. He did 7 miles in the Catskills the day before. So my legs are a little tight. So I got the poles just to help out. It never hurts. That's why I carry them, just in case. All right. 3rd time this week. 3,500 feet. Up we go. We still got a ways to the summit. So slide is like 40, I think 4,100, 4,000, 4,100, somewhere around there. So we still got about 500 feet of elevation to go. Well, 600 feet of elevation to go. And then we'll go down slide up Cornell. So we should see another one of the signs. And I'm not sure if you drop down below 3,500 between Cornell and Wittenberg. I think you do. As you go across what they call the Bruins Causeway, which I'm very excited to see. It is a very narrow ridge walk that is the only access from mountain to mountain. And they call it the Bruins Causeway. Because a lot of times they find bear tracks out there. Yeah, these Catskill views never get old. We are moving along nicely. We are just about ready to connect back into the old Jeep trail that we bypassed to get onto the Curtis Ormsby, which at that point we're only 7/10 of a mile from the summit, and you can start to see through these trees we've got a little altitude. Not attitude. Well, we've got attitude too, but altitude. Look how beautiful this is. And I don't know about anybody else, but it is impossible for me to hike in the Catskills and be in a bad mood. Look at these. Kind of like those ones I saw the other day, but they're yellow instead of white. That's pretty cool. All right, where Dragon is should be our intersection. We're very close to it. Yep. All right. So we got 4.6 from Denning Parking Areas where we stopped. And then the East Branch Trail Junction. So that's the Jeep road that we would have come up. And then 0.7 to Slide. There we go. 3 to Cornell and 3.8 to Wittenberg. So we've already done over half the hike out. So it doesn't get any easier getting out to Wittenberg, but the difficult parts are usually compressed into very specific areas out here in the Catskills. So our first real overlook. So right over here is Panther Mountain, Giant Ledge. And then if you look out that way, you see those mountains out on the ridge there. That is part of the escarpment trail. So one of those out there is Blackhead and Black Dome. I don't remember where exactly though. Yeah. All right, so we passed two more little overlooks. There's a few people up here enjoying it, so we will see those on the way back. But this is the summit of Slide. Is there a butterfly in my head? No. No butterfly this time. So, no view right from the summit. I think there used to be a tower here, if I remember correctly. But there's a spot out here where we can kind of see, and we'll go out that as a good spot for having a little snack. All right, so less than 100 feet from the summit as we continue on. We got this little rock bald here. The trail goes that way, but this is a nice spot to get a little view And you can see a little bit of the Shotgun Reservoir from here. Right there, it's out there. And then we got Cornell and Wittenberg beyond us. So this will be a good spot to, there you go, a good shot. Actually, Dragon got a good picture over to the other overlook of, see, Cornell and Wittenberg. So one summit down, 2 technically to go. So we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna go to there, and we're gonna turn around, we're gonna come back and do it the opposite way. Gorgeous day. Loving it so far. And we got a little sign here. What's the sign say? In memory of Peter, Mount Marcy, R.I.P. 2017. Well, not sure what happened there, but R.I.P. Peter. Alright, so we just came down from that rock outcropping, which is right up there. And we've got the spring is coming up, and then Cornell Mountain 2.3. So, not too far to go to the next mountain, but I get to go past the spot where I slid down Slide Mountain. Hopefully, I plotted it out better this time. I don't feel like going down that again. That sucked. But we'll definitely fill up on water at the spring here, because there's supposed to be another water source according to the map down at the bottom, but it was not there when me and Brian were up here. All right, let's do this with hands. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit of a step down.
I saw your toe start to hook that.
Yep.
I'm like, oh no.
All right, camera's going away for a little bit. Descending down, and then the last spot that the trail is nice to you. You get some steps. Everything else is rocks and roots until you get down to the lower section. And this isn't even like legit staircase. It's like a very tilted ladder. The descent off of Slide going towards Cornell is way worse than the climb up from Denning. Oh, I forgot. There's a second set of steps. I forgot about this one. They've got very odd spacing too. Very weird. All right. Once you get down to the bottom of the steps and these rocks, you are at the spring. I would suggest that if you're doing this hike, you fill up here. Because it is a ways before you see water again, if at all. Oh, there's a good look. So, Cornell and Wittenberg. And our water source. Oh, joy. Here we are at the rock that I slid down. And so it, again, camera is not going to do this justice. And I don't even remember how I attempted to get down this. Instead of going down this side, which makes more sense now, I tried to get down over here. And I just kicked out. My pack hit this rock. I don't even remember. So maybe I got down to that one. But yeah, I was over there. Because underneath all that stuff was sand. Or it was ice underneath the sand. And pine needles. And then there's a rock down there that sucker punched me when my feet kicked out. All right, we'll find a better way down.
Tree, which is helping me kind of get positioned here. Again, as Kurt said, at least once on this hike, long legs are helpful. So height has its advantage sometimes. Oh, this is good.
All right, so success. I made it down without falling. What I did was, instead of following Dragon's route, but I believe this is what Brian did last time. They both got long legs, which makes descending this a lot easier because you can kind of get your feet in places. And I've documented before, I've got the fear of heights, and that doesn't look like a lot, but when you've got weight on your back and you're trying to find a foothold, it's just a mind game. You can't really control it sometimes. So this time what I did was I dropped my pack, sent that down, Dragon grabbed it, and I was just able to, with nothing on my back, it was easy to get down this, just find footholds, boom, 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 and down I went without falling. So that was a nice change this time. Like, going back up will probably be easy to go up that left side. Coming down it with shorter legs, a little bit of an issue. So I think pretty quickly we get to the next kind of scramble spot, but there's a lot of roots and everything on that one, which make it a lot easier. It should be right coming up.
What we're looking at, my goal is to kind of steady myself on the rock to the right.
Yeah, so this is the second one. So you lose a lot. I mean, we've come down probably, what do you say, probably 150 feet from the top of that last one to here.
Probably, yeah, we did drop a good bit.
This is a
Scramble for this one.
big drop in a little bit of space. So there's a little ledge here, and I don't think I can mount you guys anywhere. That side. Or maybe if we're doing this side, get my goatee on your face. Maybe. Maybe. Spent more time trying to figure out a way to put the camera on my strap. That's pretty grippy rock.
Yeah, just at the very end of it, that kind of stuff.
And that's why you sit down and use the roots.
I came down the whole time.
Remember, I've done that before.
Yeah, I saw the route after I had already committed to my path.
And then there's the easy way, that way. I don't think that goes anywhere. That would be funny.
Like, man, going to the right definitely is not the way to go.
That bypasses the stairs and everything. Takes you right back to the car with an escalator. All right, so if I remember correctly, there might be a couple more small descents, but those were really the only two tricky spots coming down slide. So yeah, because not too far from here, we see that 3,500 foot marker again. Doesn't take long to get back down there.
No, he usually doesn't.
All right, so we were down to the area where Brian and I camped. We camped just up on the other side of the trail there. But this is the spot where I came down in the morning. Try to catch a cloudy sunrise. But I don't know if there might be too many trees. But I know in that video, you can see, oh, there it is. So it doesn't seem possible that we just came down from that in like, what, 20 minutes?
Probably.
Hey, those drops are, they drop. So that's slide up there. And we just came down that. And now that's Cornell right over the trees there. And that's where we're headed. So now we're kind of in the call here. We might drop a little bit more, but it's not too bad. It's all gradual until you get to Cornell. But yeah, look at that thing. It is holding on for dear life on that. Some big roots. Big roots. Very cool moss too, check that out. Some really beautiful areas through here. I think I would have remembered hiking through this before. I might have, but it does not look familiar. Because there's a campsite on the left I don't remember seeing last time. And we had walked down a spot where there's a little bit of water crossing. Not much, a little bit of water, it'll scoop it up. There's like a puddle. You filter that and use that for water. And it's a lot drier today than it was when we were out here a couple years ago. But we are probably pretty close to starting our ascent up Cornell. Oh, there's another campsite. This looks like a big one.
This is the one. This is the one that you want. It's huge.
Wow.
Multiple fire rooms.
Maybe I was out this way. I kind of remember a big site like there's multiple fire rings.
Plenty of places for hammocks, tents, everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I was just in the daze. That was at the end of our day, and I was talking to Dragonfly and laughing that when me and Brian did this, we stopped. We did the same hike that we just did today, and it seemed so far, such a long hike. And now, after a few years of doing bigger trips and going bigger places, it doesn't seem that far. So I was definitely tired by the time we got up here. And so maybe we did come up this far. I do vaguely remember that site. We'll know shortly. All right, so right there is where we got water. So I was just really zoned out for a good chunk of that trail apparently, because I don't remember some of that stuff. But that was like 4 years ago. So now I remember being right at the base of the climb. And we start hitting the rocks and we start going up. So we got to starting to lose count. How many is this week? 4, 5, 3,500. Back up we go. And blackhead, black dome, slide, 3, 4, fourth one. Fourth one in 7 days. Now I know some people are gonna watch this and be like, that's nothing. I do 5 of those in a day. Not me. If I lived out here, I'd probably be doing this a lot more out here. It does take a little while for us to get up here. About 2.5 hours took us to get here today. This scenery just keeps getting more and more beautiful as we climb, as is usually the case in the Catskills. So I think Cornell is 3860 or 3890, something like that. So we just crossed the 3,500. We still got a little climbing to go. But looking at the map, it's not all in one shot, which is nice. And we're not, this isn't even the Cornell Crack yet. Cornell Crack's on the other side, I think. I don't think this is Cornell Crack.
My sweat is getting in my eyes.
All right, so yeah, we got that. And it's not really that high, but it's really skinny.
Yeah, we just like challenging footholds and handholds.
So yeah, pack is gonna come off for this one. And again, we're up near the summit and the bugs are out. So, all right, pack's gonna come off. We're gonna do some climbing. We're almost to the top of Cornell. We don't have much further to go. You can see up above us, it's starting to clear up. You know, this video dragging here.
Okay, not so bad. It's gonna suck going down it.
That might be one of those things where it's like, oh, it's easier going down. Probably not though. So, all right, not so bad. And I figured out the way to get down that. You just kind of sit down and your feet are right there. So, might as well do a second climb without the pack. Dragon had the right idea. That's not so bad. And then, oh yeah, there's a little bit of a view here. And over there is where we just came from. That slide.
How you doing?
Hey, sorry. I'll get out of here.
Oh, you're fine.
We're probably about 50 feet from the summit. Looks like 50 to 100 feet. Looking back at slide, we just came down, wound our way up. This is about the best view you're gonna have, I think, on Cornell. You got a little bit further to go. You can see his trees raise up a little bit. But this is the side where I decided to climb up on the rock, on top of the rock. Gorgeous, definitely worth the view. All right, let's get up to that summit. I don't know if there's a marker at the summit. I'd imagine there is. Gotta be close, gotta be right up here. Well, according to the old map, this should be the summit. Or is this a campsite? Is there a campsite on the summit? That doesn't seem right. Is this a campsite?
No, I think this is the actual summit.
Okay. I saw the yellow disc.
I saw that too, and I'm like, is this a campsite? I thought maybe it would have been like a winter one.
No camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely the summit. I just looked at the map and we were right next to it.
A little window out over.
That's 2. 3 more to go. Yeah, a little view out there. And you can kind of see the Shotgun Reservoir. Got a little better view of it. But now we've got 0.8 to Wittenberg. And I don't think it's much of a climb, so we gotta decide maybe snack here and lunch at Wittenberg. How you feel?
I'm feeling good. Definitely snack here.
Yeah.
From being on Wittenberg before, the view there is amazing, and it's just wide open rock. Yeah, that'd be a great place for lunch, I think. If we're feeling up to it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want lunch at some point.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
and we definitely want it before the return trip.
yeah. So yeah, I think snack right now, and then lunch at the end, because I figure we'd be there about 2.
Yeah.
And that's about what it looks like.
Yeah, I think it's like 1:15 now. Yeah, it's 1:15.
So maybe a walk and snack. Walk and snack, I say. Just stop and just move.
I'm fine with that.
Get over that. Because we do have, I looked at the map, the Cornell Crack is coming up. And from what I understand, what we just came up that was kind of sketchy is nothing compared to this.
Yeah.
So, let's go check out the Cornell Crack. According to the map, that's where the Cornell Crack is. And we just, bloop, right down. No. There's just got to be another one. Everything I heard about that is that it's really difficult. There's got to be something else up here. And it said it was like 400 feet from the summit. That would be about the right spot. Oh, got to be another one. What I'm actually looking forward to is this Bruins Causeway.
No, I think this is the crack.
Okay. All right. I was going to say that didn't seem... All right.
Someone might have made a side trail to go around it. Side trail that way. Well, we have a little vista over here.
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a
That,
little vista over here.
that is the Cornell Crack. So,
Wittenberg,
now,
right over there.
Dragon did notice it looks like there's another, like a round path there. So we might go check that out. Come up this. I don't know, guess we'll see. But there is a view over here of Wittenberg. Oh yeah.
Obligatory selfie.
Video of taking a selfie. So that's where we're headed. Doesn't look that far, does it? That's a real good look at the Bruins Causeway right there. So I don't know if it's coming out on the camera because it's a little dark, but it just drops on either side there.
It is a nice perspective of that though, of that narrow ridge.
So it doesn't look like the climb's real bad. The crack here looks like the hardest part so far.
Crack kills.
Crack kills. A decent look at the reservoir and the surrounding area. Look at that view. All right, I'm gonna figure out this crack. Figure out this crack nonsense here. Okay, there we go. I don't know what the hell just happened. I think it's ahead in the pack. So, success. We have made it down Cornell Crack, but we now live here because we're not going back up that. No, it's not. It looks worse than it was. If I can make it down that with my sketchiness of heights, because again, that doesn't look that bad. But when your weight's all funny and your feet are crammed into a crevice, it's a little sketchy, but it's actually very grippy. So I'll watch Dragon's video. He explains how we did it. But so now we head to the causeway, which I'm excited for. The Bruins Causeway. I don't know about other descents on this side. I don't think you drop down real low. I think it's actually pretty gradual. It's like a little saddle. But I'm gonna grab my my snack here and move on. Look at that. Look at that. So Cornell is all full of surprises. Just came down that. That one wasn't so bad. There's a lot more of these little quick rock scrambles than I was expecting, but it's okay. It is the Catskills, and you will have this. We are approaching the Bruins Causeway here. You can see here on either side. You can see out that way a little bit. You can see out that way a little bit, and it just keeps getting narrower and narrower. Now, from what I was reading, this gets so narrow, I got like 10 feet on either, or all the way across, that small wildlife gets out here and it gets trapped. Bobcats come out here. They run the ridge, and easy pickings for them. All the small animals can't get out the ridge quick enough. So many of these little spots where you just kind of gotta look, pick your footing, just go for it. That's really cool. It's gonna be fun to go back up. And I really mean that's gonna be fun to go back up. Like cool from that direction. Another one. The rocks are a little wet, but not real slick. So just really kind of paying attention, making sure that if it's kind of a slope, I'm always checking. Just because one rock isn't slippery doesn't mean the next one won't be. Wow. This is one after another. Yeah, it's really closing in now. So, off to my right, I got about 25 feet on that side, and maybe about the same on this side. So we're getting towards the nitty-gritty of it. Gorgeous.
So we are definitely on the very narrow side of the ridge. Actually, right here will give us a little bit better perspective. So there, you kind of see where it starts to dive off. And like right here, just on the edge of that moss right there, is where it dives off on that side.
How cool is this? This is incredible. I've always been a fan of ridge walks. This is like, for the Catskills, this might be the ridgiest ridge walk in the Catskills. I know there's other places that got more drastic drop-offs closer to the trail, but this is just absolutely gorgeous. Fly just flew right in my mouth. That would be a winter campsite, I believe, because I don't think we dropped below 3,500 here. Well, that's a pretty good view into the valley. So in the Catskills, the 3,500 foot mark is the cutoff for camping in spring, summer, and fall. Cannot camp above 3,500 feet. In the winter, like December, it's like December 1st to March 1st or something like that, then you can. I'm not sure of the reasoning for that, but if you get out here, this would be a cool place to camp. Of course, in the winter, he wouldn't have the bears coming through. Maybe bobcats. So we might get some visitors. The smells here are incredible. These, whatever they are, some of them are flowering. They smell fantastic. Yeah, so here's a little drop off. The Bruins Causeway. It's like this, that, and the other side. Not too far. Oh, there's that smell again. And we'll get spoiled with this kind of bridge walk, because we do have to go up everything we just lost at Cornell. We got to gain most of that back. And that's the end of the causeway. It's just winding back out here. So pretty much everything we lost coming down Cornell, we got to make up going up Wittenberg. It's a little bit lower. Not by a whole lot though. So I imagine we're gonna have some climbing coming up. But Wittenberg has got a view. Such a view. Never been there, but I've seen pictures. And here's where we start going back up. Vacation is over. Hey, well, there's people here, but I don't care. We're going to talk to the camera. We are on Wittenberg, and this is regarded as one of the best views in the Catskills. And I can absolutely understand why. Let me take my pack off. Show you something real quick. See if I can get down there easily. Yes. So, all right, down there, you can see that rock bald, and you see that crossing there. So, when I came out here and did the 3 days solo where I didn't see anybody, I hiked up across these mountains, came down across here. The grand staircase is right below there, and right on this side of that bald is where I camped. And then the second day I hiked out the Terrace Mountain, which is out there. I stayed there and camped. But man, this is something. That's a little bit of a drop. And this isn't even the big mountain we've been on today. This is the little one. I think that over there, this kind of double peak, I think that's Sundown. That out there is Samuel's Point. I don't know what this one here is. There's mountains everywhere. Gorgeous. Alright, it is time for lunch. And a little break before we gotta turn around. Go do that all over again. The breeze feels nice. It is the sad point in any trip when you get to the spot where you want to be. Like, this is where we want to be. This is where we had our lunch, and now we got to turn around and go back. So there is an option to go that way, and then you go down Wittenberg, but then you got to go all the way along the base, down to Woodland Valley, and then up to Giant Ledge, which is like an up and a down and an up. And then down here's our Giant Ledge, and then a 2-mile road hike. And it adds a couple miles to the whole trip. And neither one of us are looking forward to going back up Giant Ledge. So we know what we got going that way. Not being facetious. Like, it's gonna be fun doing some of those going the other way.
The crack, I don't know. I don't know if you turned around and looked up at that.
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
oh yeah. Oh boy. That's fun. It's gonna be fun going up.
There are some things that it seems easier going up it than down it. I'm thinking the harder way to come up that first section. The good thing is, I'm taller than the shelf. So, I don't know how much of this you guys can see, but oh man, I don't think coming up it's easier. I think it's roughly the same.
That's Cornell Crack. We are back. That was dragon scaling it. And he did it with his pack on. I think I might take my pack off once you get up that ledge. That might be a little bit easier. But yeah. You heard it right from him. It's not easier going up it than coming down. So I'm going to shut the camera off while I'm going up there. And hopefully see you on the other side. All right, made it. So if you want to see how I got up this, watch Dragon's video. He filmed me coming up. I took his advice to a certain extent. He's got a lot longer legs than I got. So some things that he's able to do, I just can't. But I was able to modify his technique and shimmy my way up there. It's not impossible. It's just, you got to be smart. All right, you got to be careful. Don't go beyond your limits. If you're not careful doing something, or if you're not comfortable doing something like that, then don't do it. It's just that simple. So
yeah, it's fun, but it's definitely no place for an accident.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely fun. This is I don't swear when I'm doing these videos, but this is effing awesome. This is an awesome trip. I love this.
Yeah, I like that we've gotten like a good amount of cruising in, and the scrambles have been like the right amount of making you work for it, which is cool.
Yep. All right, well, on we go.
Glad to finally got to do this.
All right, we are below our trickiest scramble coming off of Cornell. We cruised right by the summit. Didn't realize we passed it. We've already been there, doesn't really matter. But yeah, we came up to that. Got through it so quick, didn't have time to pull the camera out. But we are got a couple little drops here to get back down to the col between Cornell and Slide. We're moving along, making pretty good time on the way back here. We are at the base of Slide. We cross the col, and we start climbing. Next stop is the spring, because they're both pretty low on water, and it'd be very nice. So this is where the old spring used to be, apparently. I hiked down here and you see where it used to be a ravine. It's either seasonal, I need water, seasonal, or just dried up, but no longer. So if you're hiking out here and you see this big old birch tree and this opening here, right at the base, right as you come down off the Slide at the very bottom, this is where it used to be.
Going in the direction of Cornell.
Either way, you're at the base of the slide.
Yeah, but if you're on the base on the other side.
Then there's a creek there, or a puddle. You're fine. No, but that's slides. If you're coming down, slide towards Cornell. It used to be on the right. Not no more. All right. Guess there's nothing left to do but to start climbing. On the right side, once we get over this mountain, number 5, we're good. Our last tricky climb, and this is way easier coming down than going up. There's lots of options on the side. They're just really hard to see when you're coming down. So going up is the best option there. And there's my old friend, the rock slide, where I came down a few years ago on my butt and slid. And that's a good 10 feet, right?
Yeah, that's easily.
Yeah.
That's easily 10 feet down, probably a little bit more.
So, I'm gonna put your weights. I'm gonna need my hands for this. Or maybe I can do something with it. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Get my foot in there. Get you right up here. Get you right there. How's that? Yeah. Way easier coming up that. Unless you slide. We are about 3/4 of the way up slide. And we're at our spring. And we're drinking it all. We're taking it all. Alright, I drank half of that once and another 1/4 of it now. I'm going to drink a little bit more and then fill it back up. Fill up my Nalgene again. Maybe once we get to the top, start heading down, I'll have a snack.
That was my mistake coming with those scrambles. I didn't snack on anything the whole time.
Oh yeah, see I had the Cliff Bar right before we got to him.
I was riding pretty full from lunch.
See? Sometimes you gotta force yourself to do stuff.
It's easy to forget.
Like right now, I'm forcing myself to stink. Bad.
Yeah, I'm glad I stink too, or else I'd probably be offended.
This mountain range is the Burroughs Range, and it's named after John Burroughs.
You know, I never knew that. I always thought they named it Burroughs because they're so close to New York and like the 7 boroughs.
Oh yeah. Oh. Very cool. And just like that, the climbing is done.
Yeah, we're almost.
We are at the top. And surprisingly, I feel pretty good. I thought by here, after doing slide, Cornell, Wittenberg, Cornell, and back to slide, I thought I'd be a little more tired than I am. But I guess the last week's trip up here to Catskills and just the general amount of just walking I've been doing the past, well, during this whole furlough, lockdown, pandemic thing. Guess all that conditioning kind of shows, because I am, aside from just being a little winded from coming up the side of a pretty steep mountain, feeling pretty good. We are on the other side of slide now. Really only maybe 200 yards from where we just were. Let's see if I can get that to, there you go, just down in that valley. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? Nothing but trees as far as you can see. So from here on out, it is just basically a Jeep road hike out. There's not much to see down there. So I'm going to end it right here. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed the crap out of this hike. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's awesome to cross off 2 more 3,500 foot mountains off the Catskills in one trip. That's 4 new 3,500 peaks in 7 days. I've already done slides, so. But today was a busy day. That's 6 mountains, well, five mountains we climbed technically. It was a lot of fun. Definitely worth coming up here. The trail's a little tricky in some spots, so just be aware of that. The Cornell Crack is nothing to take lightly. You've got to really be comfortable with what you're doing. Come up and down that, just take your time. Probably preferably with someone else. You could do it solo, but just be safe. Gonna just enjoy the constant downhill from here on out before we get back to the car. Thanks for coming along and checking this out. See you guys in the next.